Dez Bryant is back after 2 seasons away from the NFL. Dez is joining the Ravens practice squad. If and when he suits up for Baltimore is unknown. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have a critical battle on Sunday against the unbeaten Steelers. Stephen A., how much impact do you expect Dez to have on Lamar?
I think he could potentially have a decent impact, assuming he can play. He's on the practice squad last time I checked. Let's see if he makes the roster. Number one, there were questions about what kind of shape that he was in. He's been out of football for a couple of years, close to 3 years, so we got to take that into consideration. We don't know what he can do. What I would say to you, however, is this. Dez Bryant, once upon a time, was a big physical receiver that even when he wasn't open, he was somewhat open because he can go and get it for you. Now, they don't need necessarily a tight end when you got a guy like Mark Andrews. But what you do need is somebody that you can rely upon and catch passes in between the numbers and catch short yardage passes and what have you. The reason why that's so important when it comes to Baltimore, first of all, you got the second worst passing attack in the entire NFL. You rank 31st. But secondly, and more importantly, you've got relatively small, speedy receivers, okay? And if somehow, some way you can neutralize them at the line of scrimmage or you can prevent them on their fly patterns, nobody wants to go into the middle and catch footballs for the Baltimore Ravens. You need somebody's willingness to do that, particularly when you've got somebody like a Lamar Jackson who has the ability to extend plays. If he had like 1 or 2 seconds max where it's Tom Brady or somebody like that, I would say, hell no, this is not a good situation because Dez wasn't that kind of dude when he was younger and healthier. So now that he comes off, I think, was it an ACL injury, if I remember correctly? Was it ACL or was it Achilles? I don't remember. But the point, it was Achilles injury. It was Achilles, right? What I'm saying is the fact that you're coming off of that, we don't expect you to be what you used to be. But Lamar Jackson's ability to extend plays and you catching passes in short yardage situations, I think that can be an asset to the Baltimore Ravens. And that's why I say it's possible that he can have a decent impact.
Well, let me tip my cap to you, sir, because that's a great way of dressing this up. Like, you just gave the best argument you could for why this would matter at all. That's not just the story, right?
Right.
But the reality is, Stephen A. Smith, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're the one who's usually sitting here and goes, this won't make a damn difference, and it won't. Okay. Like, you want to say it will, you can say what you said. You can say something like, if he makes the team, that means he was the best option, right?
Yeah.
And so he has some marginal utility over whoever the replacement would have been. Because when you say, does he help Lamar Jackson, you mean, does he help him compared to who else would have that roster spot? I suppose if he's on the roster by some very marginal kind of margin, that he has helped them in that way. And you're dressing it up about he's a 50-50 ball receiver, right? Could be. You could throw it to him, and he has a good chance to somehow make the play on the ball. And okay, I guess, is that exactly what they need? Nah, they could use a dynamic receiver. I know Antonio Brown came with a lot of baggage, especially for a young quarterback. Maybe he's better off in Tampa or would have been in Seattle than in Baltimore. And also, I think AB would have had too much leverage on the Ravens because he'd have been too important to them. Mm-hmm. But, that would have been an impact. This is nothing. This is a nice feel-good story if Dez makes the team and that's it.
Well, sometimes the people that you play with help make you look better than you might actually be because you're not asked to do but so much. And I think that's the point that I want you to grasp. Remember, we don't even know if he's going to make the team. He's on the practice squad. We understand
He
this.
hasn't played in 3 years. The last time he played the same week, Lamar was playing at Louisville.
There you go. And so because of that reality, we don't know what the hell it is. But what I'm saying is if you got a guy in Lamar Jackson who's scaring the living daylights out of secondaries because of his elusivity and his ability to run with the football, obviously your secondary is compromised. You combine that with you being a big target. Let's say, for example, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but hypothetically speaking, what if Dez Bryant was going to see some time at the tight end spot? You understand? You ain't looking, everybody's looking for you to run downfield. They're looking for you to catch passes at 5 yards. Gronkowski could barely move after some of the injuries he sustained. He was on stage after he retired from New England crying about, you don't know what I was going through. You don't know what it was like health-wise, etc. What I'm saying to you is that if you've got a quarterback that knows how to run with the football and he's that electrifying and he extends plays, you might find yourself open by accident.
But you're falling into the trap. Like, I remember David Tyree with the helmet catch in the Super Bowl '07, beat the undefeated Patriots. He was such a hero in New York, and I was doing Max Kellerman show on New York radio at the time, and we talk about Tyree all the time. Yeah. and all that. Tyree never caught another pass for the Giants.
That's true.
Like, this is a ruthless talk about a meritocracy.
But who was throwing the football?
Fine, but the NFL doesn't care what you did yesterday. They want to know what you're going to do on Sunday.
Right.
And I don't think at this point in his career that Dez Bryant makes a difference on Sunday.
Let's end the segment by asking and just throwing out this, whether it's hypothetical or rhetorical, whatever word you want to use. Antonio Brown was available.
Yeah.
And they didn't pursue him. Okay? But they pursued Dez Bryant. What I'm saying is, we know Dez Bryant is no Antonio Brown, but there has to be something inside of you that's looking at what you need and saying, excuse me, I kind of need this guy. He could help us.
And his cousin's on the team. Yeah,
they could use another guy who could catch on the team, and if he's the best option, because that Tyree thing works in his favor, too. In other words, they ain't sentimental. If he's on the team, it's because he earned it.
We ain't expecting no 1,000-yard season or anything like that. I'm just saying somebody that's serviceable that, you could throw the football to every now and then. He could catch some passes for you, particularly in short-yardage situations.
At the end of the day, I can't wait for this game on Sunday, Ravens-Steelers. And I know I was proud of your objectivity. Stephen A. saying yesterday on our show that he'll believe his Steelers are legit if they can ultimately beat the Ravens. So battle for the AFC North. That'll be Sunday at 1 o'clock. We'll leave it there. When we come back, LA is title town.